Hello, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this highly illuminated planet. I am so blown away by how many people have been messaging me about my quantum magic formula training. So it's a 4-part training, if you had not yet already done it. And in those 4 pieces, which lasts a total of approximately 2 hours, I literally walk you through, hold your hand and take you through the process of the formula that the universe has set up for us so that we can get and experience the things that we want to get and experience in life. That is that quantum magic formula training. If you haven't done it already, it's released at quantumu.com. And you can find the training there. Just pop your name in and you will be delivered directly to it, where you can just do it at your leisure, and it is completely free. Well, at least it's free at the moment. Anyway, the questions that I've been getting have mostly been about the second step of the training. So in the second piece, the second part of the formula, we'll call that piece acceptance. So acceptance being the second part of the formula, and I've been getting heaps of questions around acceptance. Now, I find acceptance one of the more difficult pieces of the actual formula, only because people, when they're first getting used to applying the formula in a stage-by-stage process, they hit this first hurdle, and then this first hurdle, things start to collapse around them. And so acceptance actually has 3 pieces to it. So we'll just go through those 3 pieces and why they are so important and why you cannot leave any one of those 3 pieces out. And if you do, you don't actually get to the third step. You don't pop yourself over there into the third piece. Okay, so acceptance has 3 pieces. The first part of acceptance is one of the pieces that I was reminded by my 8-year-old son, Saxon, and is this step where you just have to release all your control. That sounds fun and maybe mildly intimidating. Actually, this step of acceptance is where you can no longer worry about the things that you can't control. So the stuff that's happened in your life that you have no control over, you have to let it go. You got to realize that you cannot control what you cannot control. That includes going backwards in time and erasing the past. But it's just not possible, at least not yet, at least not in this frequency and this vibration that we're currently in. Okay. So number 1 is releasing control. Now, I think that most people conceptually kind of get that part. And they can come to the sort of like revelation, as you might say, that they're like, oh, okay, right, it's happened. I've done that. I've said this. This has happened to me. That has happened to the world. Something else has happened. And I cannot take that back. I cannot be an impetus for change and remove that from historical reference of the world. Okay. That is something that is going on, whether you like it or not. Or it could be a person, it could be a place, it could be a thing, something that happened to you. It could be an event that occurred, or it could be a person, or it could be yourself. Okay. Don't worry about the things you can't control. Those things that you cannot control, you can't control, you just need to let them go. And like I said, I think most people get that part. Most people get that part. The error comes, so not the error, but sort of like the tripping hazard here is moving into the second stage of acceptance. And the second stage is a little bit more difficult for people, only because maybe, just maybe, that you have not yet been trained or have not yet trained yourself to do this automatically. Now, once you train yourself to do this next step automatically, your life literally changes like that overnight, in moments, in a decision. At this magical point, your life just goes boom and it's different. And if you can train yourself to do that on a regular basis, wow, things in and around you will no longer feel the same. And you will realize how much influence you have over how you exist rather than how things around you exist. Okay, so the next second part of acceptance is that you have to find the gift. The second part of acceptance is that you must find the gift. Now, as big of a struggle that it is, okay, this is your only option. Actually, you have the second option, and you can just not find the gift, and you can just keep doing the things that you're doing, experiencing and exploring the pain and the anguish and the anxiety. Or if you do choose to move forward in life, that's something that you are highly interested in, and you no longer want to resonate in the space that you are, well, then I suggest pen to paper and tell me, what are the gifts that have occurred because of this thing that you are now in acceptance of? And it could be simple. Because XYZ happened to me, I've had to be stronger. I've had to learn how to become more resilient. I've had to become more determined. I've had to become more focused. I've had to become more clear. If this had not had happened to me, I wouldn't actually be listening or applying the magical formula that the universe has set up for me to get the things that I want in my life. So the gifts, they're out there, and you've just got to find them. And I mind you, I can think of many situations, and at least a few of them, that I would not want to think of, where I could admit myself that finding the gifts would be extraordinarily challenging, okay, beyond anything that I wish to experience. However, I did say, if you choose to move forward in life, if you choose that life is still moving forward for you, and it is not time for you to leave this existence, then finding the gift is your option. It's the only option. So first part of acceptance, okay, remember me, is to just not worry about the things you can't control. You're going to have to let that stuff go and come to realization and accept that you can no longer control anything that you can't control. Now, the second step, as soon as you realize that and you let it go, is that you have to find the gift. And that's the gift of this other person, this gift of what you had done, this gift of this thing that had happened to you, this event, this occurrence, whatever it might be. You need to find the gifts. And I suggest more than one. I suggest that you look for as many as you possibly can find, and try to make them some of those really simple. They don't have to be complicated. They don't have to be overthought. Let's move to the third stage of acceptance, because once you have found the gifts, this is where I feel like the rest of the people stop, and they don't get to the third stage of this magical formula. And remember, the magical formula, the quantum magic formula, is the law or the laws that the universe has already set up for you, okay? Filtered down and set this protocol up for you to do, experience, and get the things that you do experience or want to experience and want to get in your life, right? It's set this up for you. And stage 3 is going to take you straight into it. In order to get to stage 3, you've got to move through the third stage of acceptance, because this last stage of acceptance is literally what gets you to jump onto the next lily pad, as you might say, to jump to the next level, to jump to the third stage of the magic formula, the third piece. Okay, so the third part of acceptance is that you have to create a compelling future. See, what happens is that most people accept that they can't control it. Then, if they're lucky, find a gift or 2 or 3 or 10 that have happened to them in their life, or that they've had to experience because of this person, place, thing, event, whatever it might be, that they can't control. And then they linger there, never truly making the jump to the next space. However, you guys will now know differently, because with this magical step here, and it's not magic, this is just how our programming works, how our fundamental neural programming works, and how the universal laws work that associate and filter into us, that create us, okay, that organize us, the organizing principles of life. The third step is that you have to create a compelling future, because without a compelling future, there is no reason for you to actually make a leap forward. Creating a compelling future is a critical step to finishing off the second stage of this magical formula called acceptance. So acceptance doesn't end until you can create a compelling future. So who are you? And what does this version of you look like? this next version. So there's the one that all this stuff happened to, or this thing, or there's the one, there's the person that said all these different things or did all these different things. And then all of a sudden you can realize the gifts of what had happened to you, who you had to become because of these things. And then that third piece, you go, you know what? This is the person that I'm creating. And you create a compelling future and a version of yourself that then can take the quantum leap forward to the third step of the magic formula. So let's regroup and go back through the 3 steps of acceptance. First, you can't control what you can't control. So you have to learn to just let it go and not worry about the things you can't control. Take a deep breath and you can't take it back. It's happened. Whether you did it or it happened to you or it happened around you, it's over. So if you then choose to move forward in life, you go to the second stage. Now you remember what the second stage was? Deep breath in. The second stage is you have to find the gifts. You have to find the gifts. What great things, good things, amazing things have now happened to you, with you, because of you, for you, around you, because of this thing that you are now in acceptance of. And the third stage is critical. What is your compelling future? Who are you as in this new compelling future version of yourself? Now, if you can paint that picture, if you can create that avatar, if you can plan that person's life, what that person looks like from the morning they wake up to the time that they go to bed, or what they want to experience in life, then you are going to take a magical quantum leap forward into the third stage of the quantum magic formula. So if you want to get into the formula, I still have that free training available on releasethequantumyou.com. And I would love for you to head over there, check it out. Be sure to get your name in there and we will deliver it direct to you. Have an amazing day and be magical, friends. See ya.